Hi, my name is Lona Muthania Uchido, and I'm making it one of my life's mission to demystify the speech therapy field and to empower more parents on what they can start to do in order to optimize their child's communication outcomes. So whether you want your child to talk more or talk better, learn better, and overall optimize their potential. So stay tuned and feel free to send in any topics on speech and language development you'd like for me to tackle. Hi, and welcome to today's video where I am going to do a demonstration of how I read to my children to grow their language skills. Because I think it's important to know how to read in such a way that it actually enhances or improves your child's language skills. So this book, I have many books actually, but this is one that is handy today, and so I will just do a demo. I have another video on the different kinds of books that, or which type of book is beneficial or better for your child if you want to teach them how to talk more. So check out that video before you watch this one or after you watch this, because this will then bring, you'll have a bit of context for why I am reading this book. And it can be any book as long as the book has a storyline. So the most important thing with reading a book to children or reading books to children is you have to keep your voice animated and very exciting and almost like create a bit of suspense each time you're reading to your child, because that just adds to the amusement and basically just making them have a love for reading and being read to and stories and language. So try and not keeping it monotone. And if you have a nanny that's reading to your children, make sure you demonstrate to them or show them this video so that they know how to go about it. And so as I am reading, I'll point out some of the things I'm doing, because I'll be asking questions and doing a few things that can actually help grow your child's language. Okay, so here goes. So this book is a favorite of ours with my three children, and it's really fun. So I'll read it. So it's Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy. And I'll tell you a few things that I like about this book as we go. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this. Out of the gate and off for a walk went Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy. Doop, 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 doop. Who's this? This must be Harry McClary. Look at how hairy Harry McClary is. And this must be Donaldson's Dairy. Is that where he lives? I think that's where he lives. Can we turn the page now? Yes, let's turn the page. Kids really love turning pages, so let them have that fun. And Hercules Moss as big as a horse. He's so big. Hercules Moss. Wow, and jumping over his gate. Naughty Hercules Moss. With Harry McClary from, do you remember? Donaldson's Dairy. Bottomly pots covered in spots. Hercules Moss as big as a horse. And Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy. And I keep leaving a gap just so that if my child wants to join in, because there's a lot of repeated words, then they can join in. And usually my kids will join in Donaldson's Dairy. So, and Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy. And I like this book because the words repeat. So with time, actually, by the end of the book, usually my kids are always joining in and saying most of it. And I'll point out something else if you haven't already noticed. If anybody has noticed, just put in the comments what else is happening with some of the words describing the different animals. You got it? Okay, let's move on. You turn the page. Muffin McClay like a bundle of hay. Bottomly pots covered in spots. Hercules Moss as big as a horse. And Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy. You turn the page. This guy doesn't look like he's up to any good. Can you see the birds eating some seeds? Turn the page.
Bits of Maloney, all skinny and bony. Muffy McClay like a bundle of hay. Bottomley Potts, covered in spots. Hercules Moss, as big as a horse. And anticipation. Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy. Where is Harry McClary? Did he open the bin? Naughty Harry McClary, opening other people's bins. Can you see bin? And I've repeated it again, bin, just so that this child also gets to know that that word is a bin. Schnitzel von Kram with a very low tum. Bits of Maloney, all skinny and bony. Muffin McClay like a bundle of hay. Bottomley Potts, covered in spots. Hercules Moss, as big as a horse. And, do you remember? Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy. Ooh, some pretty flowers there. So no question there, I'm just adding, vocabulary. With tails in the air, they trotted on down, past the shops and the park to the far end of town. They sniffed at the smells and they snipped at each door when suddenly, out of the shadows, they saw... Can you see these eyes? Whose eyes are these? Can we check? Scarface Claw, the toughest storm in town. Oh, this is a bit scary. What does Scarface Claw do? Said Scarface Claw. Really is the toughest storm in town. I really love this part. And the kids love it too. And I think I'll make it extra frightening for my baby. Off with a yowl, a wail and a howl, a scatter of paws and a clatter of claws. When Schnitzel von Kram, usually by this point the kids know the name. Or if you've read it like a dozen times. With a very low tum, Bits of Maloney, all skinny and bony. Muffin McClay like a bundle of hay. Bottomley Potts, covered in spots. Hercules Moss, as big as a horse. And Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy. What happened next? Straight back home to bed. And that's it. And usually it's so much fun. And if you hadn't noticed, actually the names of the dogs actually all rhyme. So the thing that, it's being equated to is a rhyme word. So Schnitzel von Kram with a very low tum. So Kram and tum rhyme. Maloney and bony rhyme. Hay, McClay and hay rhymes as well. Pots and spots rhyme. So with young children's language development, there's the rhyme awareness rhyme awareness develops quite early. So this is very good preparation as well, or getting them tuned into sounds, which is going to be very useful for when they start to learn how to read. So if you can point out what rhymes. I love this book. I also love what's that book that my kids like, Llama Llama, because they also have rhyming words. And a lot of kids books, or you can pick books that have rhyming words, because then you can draw attention to the words that rhyme and say, oh, Kram and tum, do they sound the same? Oh yes, they sound the same. And that can be a whole other discussion as well. And little children, even 2 years, can hear that there's a little, like rhyme to things as well. So anyway, guys, I hope that has been useful in demonstrating how you read a book to a toddler or a child in order to grow their language skills as well as their attention skills. There's another video where I talk about 3 ways you can build your toddler's attention skills, and reading books is one of them. So check that out to see what the other 2 ways are. Please like this video if you liked it. So give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified when we have a new video posted, which is twice every week. So thank you so much for tuning in and staying to the end. I hope that was really fun. It was fun for me as well. And catch you later. Thanks.